cut across to Nigel D'Souza, who's now in conversation with Dilip Bhat at the Prabhudas Liladher dealing room. Nigel?
Well, thanks so much for that, Anuj. Dilip, we have seen in the last couple of weeks, we've been fairly resilient. But FI flows, they haven't really picked up. What do you make of this entire resilience that we're seeing without any big FI flows, yet the Nifty at around 8,350 or thereabouts?
Well, I think that has been a very conspicuous observation in this particular rally, that despite a not too great FI inflow, I think the markets have shown a very smart, sharp and a very sustainable rally. But one thing I must say, that this rally has been across all over the globe. So we are a part of that global rally at the moment. So whether it's Indonesia, whether it's Latin America, whether it's Russia, or whether it's even US or even Europe, we have seen that markets have really surged, defying all the expectation. So in that sense, I think if one were to look a little forward, it would be fair to expect that either market consolidates at the current level or gives some correction of couple of 100 points on Nifty.
All right, so worst case scenario, where do you expect the Nifty to go? Maybe we do have a base at 8,000. Do you believe that?
Very much. I think around 8,000 is something which probably appears to be a very reasonably good, strong support, unlikely to go below that. Because as we are heading into the result season, we are bound to see a lot of volatility. And I think our broader take still on the corporate earnings is that it will be more back-ended, and people will still be watching out for the comments which the corporates are going to make in this quarter.
All right. Every time we come here, Dilipji, you give us a couple of Nifty stocks to look at. The last time you gave us Yes Bank, I think Oro Pharma as well as L&T. Anything else you're looking at from the Nifty pack, something that can play catch-up, something that you believe can do well going ahead?
Well, I think apart from these stocks, I think Oro Pharma also still looks pretty good in that. And I think ACC is another stock which looks very interesting. I think all the cement companies are likely to report a very strong set of earnings in this particular quarter. The question is whether these prices are sustainable or not is something which remains to be seen. My own apprehension slightly on the longer term is that sugar and cement being a very sensitive commodity, government may not allow a runaway rise in the prices or in the profits for any of these companies. So that factor should not be forgotten. But still, I think ACC still looks pretty interesting from the frontline stocks.
All right, one segment that's really caught everyone's eye. We go out, we meet a lot of investors. Everyone also know what's going on with IPOs. You put your money in a few of these IPOs and you made big returns on the first day itself. A lot of investors out there, they're asking, any of the IPOs that have already gone past, is there a good time to get into any of them? And we have L&T Infotech as well that's coming up. Would you advise investors to go in there?
So I think one must certainly say that the quality of IPO has improved tremendously, and they always leave a lot of value on the table.
Right.
And the new phenomena that we have observed is that not just the super HNIs, but even the normal HNIs now have latched on to the financing, which is available at a very cheap rate. So I think that also explains why we are seeing the huge subscription, that is what that we are seeing, the oversubscription. But I think within the space, L&T Infotech really looks a stock which you must apply for. I think there's a reasonable return to be made. And I think even if one were to see that they are having an ROEs of around 40%, I think that bodes very well for the company. I think in the past IPOs, there's something like Team Lease, which probably has not done anything great. But still, that's a stock which can really go places probably in the next 6 months to 12 months. I think Mahanagar Gas also is another stock which you must really have a look, because I think that's a great model. And I think we are gradually only going to see increase in the earnings with the better ROEs.
All right. Team Lease, yesterday they made that big acquisition. In fact, that's going to be margin accretive as well. But Anuj was just telling us that the mid-cap space is surging. Give our viewers a couple of picks, couple of stocks that you think can do well from here on.
So I think there is this company called Jubilant Life Science. It's around 315.20. But I think in next 2 years, maybe 2 to 3 years, it can be 2 times from the current level. I think that's a company where we are going to see a good sustainable growth. We are going to see good cash flows. We are going to see the balance sheet size reducing and the turnover going up. That's a very good combination for this company. So that's the stock. Jubilant Life Science looks good. Max Financial Services is another company. I think That's a stock one should acquire for slightly longer term, but that's another multi-bagger in the making, in our opinion.
All right, Dilip ji, we have this query that's been floated to us over the last few days. JP Associates. Now, you have to be really daring to get into that one. But if someone got in at around 6-7 rupees, they are making huge returns. Anything that you can identify from that badly beaten down, heavily leveraged, but maybe, just maybe a turnaround is possible, or would you say stick to quality, don't touch any of those?
Well, in that case, I would really go in for something like our PSU banks itself.
Okay.
I think they have been beaten down so badly. And I think one can take a broad call that maybe the worst is over, and if you are ready to wait for another 2 to 3 years, I think there is a reasonable amount of consolidation that is likely to happen. We are going to see a lot of reforms in that, and I think that should provide a good amount of tailwind to the PSU banks.
All right. Pleasure, as always, speaking to you, Dilip ji.
Thank you so much.
That's it from me here at Prabhudas Liladher. Back to you, Sonia and Tanuj, in the studios.
All right, Nigel, thanks for that. We were having some issue with the video, but we got some clear audio and lots of stuff to talk about.